Hey Drew, I'm just looking at this project. I think this is looking better than what you previously had. There's some things I was just going to show you that might help just a little to improve it a little bit. So if I use the white arrow tool, I can select some of this. I don't mind like the jaggedness in his face necessarily, but there's parts of his clothing that I think could be simplified with the smooth tool, which is typically underneath the shaper tool. If you don't have it, you might have to look for it here and find it here. Sometimes you can search for it too in the help section up here if you can't find it, but you should have it underneath the shaper tool. So yeah, we can just let's just smooth out this hat shape a little bit because it's really jagged. I mean, maybe not quite that much, but well, maybe. We don't necessarily need to do his face, but I think we could do his shoulders a little bit too. And we could make his shoulders, I noticed that there's kind of like a white frame around this. I don't know if you want that in your design or not, but I would almost take it out of the frame by ungrouping and then just deleting. And we can make his shoulders look appear wider with the white arrow tool if we just grab the anchor, we just grab those anchor points and start moving them out. Sometimes you have to click on them a couple times. Sometimes you have to shift click on them to make sure that they're open all the way. But we can actually like widen these out to make it look like he's not clipped off on the sides. Maybe something a little bit more like, I don't know, like this. We can grab the handles on the anchor points and kind of round this off a little bit more. Maybe something like that. And you can even use the smooth tool to kind of smooth out the shoulder a little bit so that they're not so rough looking. Something around those lines looks fairly natural. I think the hat looks a little better, slightly smoother. And if we push shift and click on these shapes with the white arrow tool, just this gray stuff in the hat, I don't think I like it that much. I mean, you might like it, I'm not sure, but I think it actually would look a little bit better just to make these all black. So we can use the eyedropper tool to select the black from the hat and just kind of get rid of those extra shapes. I think there might be one here too, or you can delete them. Actually, deleting them doesn't work because then you have white left over. So we'll just use the eyedropper tool and make that shape black. And we can actually bring these shapes together if we wanted to by clicking and dragging with the white arrow tool to make sure we got all of that stuff selected, and then use the shape builder tool. And we can just draw lines through everything to kind of clean it up and bring them together. So when you draw lines through two shapes, it just makes them one. I'm having a hard time with some of the smaller shapes actually selecting those, but I think there's something up here we can delete. I think his face looks pretty good jagged, so I don't think we need to mess with that. It's mostly just the stuff in his clothing that I'm not liking. I'm actually just push delete on that one, delete on that one. Maybe just delete on that one. Grab this shape and let's smooth it out with the smooth tool. Just get it a lot smoother. There's a million anchor points. It's just very jagged, which I know, like some of the stuff that you end up doing, you kind of want it stylized to look kind of jagged, I guess. I mean, I'm thinking maybe that's what you're going for because of some of the logos and stuff that you showed me were pretty jagged, so maybe that's kind of what you're going for. This is still going to look pretty rough. It's just, I think this is going to be improved looking, just to clean them up with this and broadening the shoulders, taking them out of that frame maybe, unless you really want them in the frame, and then just kind of simplifying his clothing a little bit. And obviously the main focus now will be his face. So if you want to get that turned into Brightspace to me, sorry I didn't get you feedback sooner. I had a really kind of a busy week last week with the student art show, so I wasn't able to, I didn't do a whole lot of checking back in Brightspace on either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, Sunday. So today's been kind of the first day that I've been able to look at that. So anyway, if you want to make those changes, I can update your grade and give you an A on that. So, and if you wanted to add a text element, you could. I think originally maybe you were going to include a text element in the design, but don't worry about it if you don't get to it. But if you want to smooth it out and take it out of the frame and widen up the shoulders and kind of simplify some of the clothing, then I can update your grade. Okay, talk to you later.